friends. Happy Wednesday! It is Wednesday, April 14th. I'm hanging out here at a spa with my friend Maddie Goff. Maddie is an actor, a writer, improviser, a teaching artist, a coach, and an all-around amazing, wonderful human being. I've gotten to know Maddie this past year, and I'm introducing a new class which will be part of our Motivational Wednesday. So a couple Wednesdays a month, I'm going to invite guests in to share their stories of success and what motivates them, and asking them to share words of wisdom with you guys. So Maddie's going for a swim right now. We're going to meet her in a little bit. But before then, we're going to do some moving and grooving. And our song today was like a one-hit wonder when I was a kid. But I thought it was so appropriate for today. Alright? So let's get to some moving and grooving. And then we'll go meet Maddie. Let's move, guys! I can't believe I'm playing this song. Alright guys, let's see, let's do that. I can't stop, I love the song! Okay, let's stop. Hey! That was fun. That was so much fun. I loved that song. Like I said, guys, I feel it's really important to do things just because you love them. So let's do our breath work, and then we're gonna go meet my amazing, fabulous, wonderful friend Maddie. So again, we do our breath work. We breathe in for 7, hold for 7, exhale for 8. Ready? And inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, guys, making sure you're really breathing into that belly. The breathing that your breath connecting helps with the calmness. Ready, and 2 more. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Alright guys, we're gonna go up, meet my friend Maddie, and I can't wait to hear what she had to share, because like I said, she is just this wonderful, amazing, passionate human being and artist, and I can't wait for you to meet her. So let's go meet her, okay? Alright, dear, alright. So, cool, alright, everyone! This is my friend Maddie Goff. Hi, Maddie!
Hello!
How are you? Are you enjoying the spa with me?
I love it. I mean, I have been in the water. I went over to that cabana and had a drink. It was fantastic.
So nice to chill out and to chill out with you. So, guys, this is a brief. I've known Maddie for almost a year. So we met. She was actually one of my teachers when I started doing improv with the improv theater, and Maddie and I have gotten to work together, we've gotten to become friends, and so what I just want Maddie to do is share, as we do on Motivation on Wednesday, to share a little bit of her story. So Maddie, I'm going to just ask you a little bit about your dream, and then we're just going to get into a little bit about adversity and resiliency and what are tools you use when you're going through the tough times in life and professionally. So, and again, just thank you for hanging out at my spa with me.
Of course.
Thank you for taking the time. So, tell me, Maddie, you started up in Texas, so tell me, just give us a little bit of like a brief early Maddie story, and then we'll take it from there.
I love it. So I grew up on a small farm in Texas where my mom still lives and takes care of. It's a horse farm, so she takes care of people who in Austin can have horses. They can't have them in the city, so they put them on her farm. And so she takes care of them all by herself. She's such an incredible woman. And so I grew up on that farm with her, riding horses, taking you have to deal with a lot of poop. Anybody who's worked with animals, you know most of it is just dealing with poop. So taking care of a lot of that and having a lot of pets when we were young because we lived on a farm. Yeah, so that's me. And then I grew up, I went to school outside of Austin, Texas, and then went to college in San Antonio, Texas, and then moved out to Los Angeles around 2010 to pursue acting and writing.
Wow. So let me go up with horses. Was there a moment where I'm going to ask you two questions. The first question was there a moment when you knew, yeah, I want to be an actor. This is what I want to do, because for some people they don't know, and for other people there's like a specific moment. Did you have a moment where you knew this is what I'm going to do?
I think so. I played basketball in college. And I'm 5'1", so I'm very short, and I played basketball. I was a point guard. And I actually got an injury in my legs and had to do rehab to get back to where I could walk.
Wow.
And I remember going through that time in my life where I was on pain medication and doing this rehab and realizing that I was doing it so I could get back on the court. And then a student transferred in from another university. I'm 5'1", basketball, right? So that's a game. That's a height game. Another point guard transferred in from another school, and she was 5'7" and very talented point guard. And I realized, essentially my spot was going to not be there really unless I somehow got really, really, really great. And I think I looked at essentially the obstacle that's in front of me and the goal on the other side of that, which was just another 2 years of college ball and maybe overseas ball. And I went, oh, I'm actually not interested in that goal on the other side of this obstacle anymore. But boy, oh boy, this thing that I've
Right.
loved so much,
Right.
I've never seen a goal too high. I've always been like, oh no, I'm excited to climb that
Right.
obstacle.
Right.
And I love that goal, and I've never seen an obstacle too high, and I'm excited to um, go through and around or whatever that obstacle. So, and that was acting and writing, and I think that's when I went, oh, I love acting and writing so dearly, and I'd always done it. I had always been that basketball girl who was doing plays. And then
Right.
eventually, yeah, I just went,
Right.
oh, and I got cast in Les Liaisons Dangereuses, the Dangerous Liaisons, in college that year when I had that injury. And I knew, and I suddenly was realizing, oh, I'm not rehabbing to play ball. I'm rehabbing to be able to be on stage. And that was the shift. I went, oh, I didn't even realize that that's what was happening. And then from then on, I've been very focused.
Well, let me ask you this, and I don't mean this to sound as esoteric as it might or lofty, but was there a lesson that you've learned from working on the farm and with the horses? Were there childhood lessons that you still carry with you now that really support you and go into this career as an artist?
Absolutely. Yes. Okay, two come to mind. The first one, especially as a career as an artist, when riding horses, some days are just not going to be your day for whatever reason. And allowing whatever that day is to be whatever that day is so important. And also getting rejected was a part of horse riding and horse showing too. And we did a little bit of showing, and it was so interesting that the learning on a kind of beginner level of how things are just not equitable anywhere. And this is like a very beginner level, and realizing, oh yeah, the doors are going to get shut in my face because of things I have no control over.
Right.
And and I have to just be able to go, okay, was very good to learn. And then, and that's one of them. And I think the other, because with horses, you're working with an animal. If it's not their day today, you have to love them and be compassionate and be present with them when it's not their day too. And that's all about artistic collaboration, is being present with who you're present with and loving them and having I love the idea of, and that's where I come from in acting and in improv and in writing, is I have so much love for my scene partner, so much love for the character I'm playing and the story that I'm writing. It's all about passion.
And I would imagine too with the horses, because I actually used to horseback ride as a kid for therapy. I used to go to this place, and it was therapeutic riding as a kid. But I would also imagine that it really helped you in being in the moment, because the horse is just like, the horse is going to do what the horse wants to do. Would you say that that's also true?
Totally true. With horses too, there is nothing but the moment, because they're animals of prey, so they have to be ready.
Right.
And you are there to tell them, I've got you. I'll be the one protecting you today. And you're also there to be present with them. So you do have to be so present all the time with horses. It's pretty cool.
What was it that made you choose Los Angeles? Because I think we choose, there are many places to go to be an artist, but I think we choose Los Angeles. What made you, as opposed to Chicago or New York, what made you choose Los Angeles?
I think I never was a singer or a dancer, even though I truly think I would have loved it. I just got so focused on basketball that I didn't sing or dance. So I think if I had been a singer or a dancer, I might have considered New York. And I even did consider New York for a school when I auditioned for schools. But since that wasn't in the cards, I love the sun. I love, and LA has everything outdoors you can ask for.
Right.
And I love television and film, writing it and performing in it. So I think that's what ended up happening. And LA is obviously the hub for that.
So I want to go get you this writing and you. So I'm just gonna break on you. Maddie's an amazing artist and improver. I've worked with her as a teacher. I've worked with her on a show. She does the girl like nobody's business. And guys, this is people who were watching. When I did the heartbeat, Maddie was the voice of the little girl of the family. I was like, I'm glad I don't have to be in the same with you because I won't be able to keep it straight. Lolly and Sally cannot be in the same.
Oh my gosh. There will be a day. There will be a day Nurse Lolly will come back and Sally will be in that room.
I would love it, but seriously, because I think, again, we're drawn to certain things. So what drew you to improv and narrative improv, and what was it that made you think this is what I'm going to focus on? What was it about that process that drew you to that?
What drew me to improv, period, was I played basketball and I was in college and I couldn't get in any of the big college productions because it was during the basketball season and we would be traveling. And so I looked in San Antonio at their lists of things that they were casting and I saw Comedy Sports and I thought, well, what's that? I like comedy. And then I saw improv and I went, okay, I'll go try it. And I went and auditioned and tried it and they put me on the Comedy Sports San Antonio team and I started doing Comedy Sports. So then when college was over and I moved back to Austin, it opened up to, I was a part of a school. I started taking improv classes and that group named Merlin Works, Shayna Merlin, started a show based on the Twilight Saga.
Oh my gosh.
And I got cast in it and I fell in love with narrative just instantly because it combined writing and storytelling with acting right there in the moment. And I also like directing. So it combines all of these things. And I like it more than I like sketch because you get to play someone through a whole arc. You get to see a whole human, flaws and all. And I love that.
I agree with you because as I said, last year was I've always done improv on and off. I like to be funny, but I wasn't necessarily drawn to sketch.
Yeah.
And then I found that narrative improv was like, it's like it.
So great.
It is. It's so awesome. So you write also, and I love that you describe you love all these things because I think that sometimes I feel like this has to be, I have to be an actor. So what is it about your multidisciplinary love of things, and how do you feel that helps you in defining what you consider success? Does that make sense?
Totally. What a great question. I mean, that question to me is everything because you can come out to LA thinking, all right, I'll be on a television show and that will be success. And most people will not be successful in that way if that's how we define it. But and I think I am also very fortunate to be one of the people who loves sitting down and writing, who loves getting lost in narratives in my mind, and whether I'm putting them on the page or improvising them or performing a scripted piece and I've built a character backstory. I love the process behind the final product.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like the process better than the final product. A lot of the times I'm like, oh yeah, we'll do that or whatever. But this collaborative, imaginative process is just everything so joyful to me. So so there's that. I think that's what made me want to be a multi hyphenate person.
Mm-hmm.
And then the definition of success is so key because I think that was one of the first things I realized is, oh, my definition of success is not what I thought it was. My definition of success is, am I getting to engage in the process and get paid for it from time to time? And or, you know, eventually I would love to be full-time paid for some engagement in the process in the ways that I like to engage. That would be eventual, you know, monetary success. But as far as artistic success goes, am I getting to engage in this process on a daily basis to a satisfaction of my creative heart and my collaborative heart? And if the answer is yes, then I'm a successful actor in LA.
I love that you say that because I think we often put this monetary value in a career, and you know, we put up not only a monetary value but a visibility value. And I think that, especially in our career, I don't know what doctors do because I'm not a doctor, but I think that mindset of artistic success, am I doing what I set out to do every day? Which a lot of people don't do. If you can say, hey, when I was 5 or 6 or 15, I wanted to be an actor, or I wanted to be in this career, and that's what I've done, because I do believe we have control over how we feel about that, because there's so much we don't have control over. But I agree, we do agree that helps us feel better about success because we can feel good about the things we have control over. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if we are defining success by things we have no control over, then we will never be successful.
Say that one more time, guys. I want you to hear this. Go ahead, Maddie.
Okay, here we go. If we are defining success by things that we have no control over, we will never be successful.
That might end up on my morning cup of joy one of these days. That one.
Yeah.
So let me ask, because a couple more questions. This is a great, Maddie.
Oh, I love it.
One, what kind of stories as a writer, as a creator, and as an artist, performer, what type of stories do you like to create and tell? What stories are important?
Yes, great question. A thought actually just popped into my head that I'll share and then backtrack forward to this. I just realized what I just said about things you can't control. The answer is not to try and control the things you can't control.
I do the sense, and yeah, I do. We can't. I think we have to start to control them. They go, what do they want? And I think the more we take ownership and letting go of trying to please other than come at it from who we are.
Yeah, and the things I do have control over are what do I put my effort towards as far as, am I in acting class or working acting on my own time, am I writing on my own time, and am I in a writing class, or am I, and how do I define success? That's something you put control over, is how you're defining success. And you know, who are the people that I've put in my life? That's something you have control over too, which is awesome. Okay, wait, going to the other question though, because it was so great. What was it? It was about, stories I like to tell.
Yeah, what did I have to? I think it has short-term memory since COVID. I'm like, what did I say? Yeah, no, what stories do you like to tell?
I love telling quirky, close to the heart, warm stories.
Mm-hmm.
I also love sci-fi.
Me too. Oh my god, I
Yeah.
love sci-fi.
So it's interesting. So I've written there's two kind of thrillers that I've written that are sci-fi
Right,
thrillers that have a lot of heart. Everything I write has so much heart. So I
right,
love writing things that are human and
right.
deeply moving, hopefully, and truthful. And I've written a pilot that is sci-fi, two sci-fi pilots. One is about robots, and the other is about multiple dimensions.
Ooh.
And then one pilot that's just about a family that runs this ice cream parlor slash bar called the Pint.
Mm-hmm.
And then so I love writing those kinds of stories. They always have people who mean a lot to each other, who love each other, are deeply compassionate, even
Mm-hmm.
if the relationships are conflicted and flawed. There's always people who are deeply in love with each other. Not romantic love, but and sometimes romantic love, but definitely compassion on a very deep and human level.
Couple more questions before we get back into the pool. We're gonna dance and then we're gonna go back into the water. But how has the past year with COVID and everything, how has that impacted the way you want to tell stories? And what would you say is one of the biggest lessons you've learned about resiliency from this past year? If,
Ooh, the biggest lesson. This is gonna make me emotional. My acting coach told me this morning, "You're the most emotional person I know," which I was like, "Oh, thank you."
that's it. I'm giving you like a virtual hand please right now.
Good.
It's
Yes, I feel
okay.
it. I feel it. The biggest lesson is how deeply important it is to surround ourselves with deep and loving friendships. People that we choose to have in our family. And of course, family too. You can be friends with your family members
Right,
if that's the way
right,
it goes. But resiliency, I think, I don't know a whole lot about interdependence, but I think resiliency is, or codependence. I think resiliency is about having a family that you've centered around yourself.
right,
And even if you're not calling them, right, you can just
right.
think, oh, people have got my back and I've got other people's back. We're going to get through this.
Right. Uh, and I think I would agree. I think you're lucky if you're born into that, but I think you can create that. I mean, I found that with input with like, oh wait, I have, and I think we can have more than one. But I love that you said that. So how do you think learning that now changes you? Do you think that has changed you going forward? I mean, because I feel I would hope that after this year we don't go back to normal. We go move forward to better because there were other things than back to normal that weren't always awesome. So, how do you feel as an artist we use our art to go forward to making go forward to a different normal, not back to normal, but a different normal.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Totally. I think gratitude is a huge one from this
Mm-hmm.
year that for example, you and I have never met in person.
No.
I can't wait till the moment
Oh my
we
god.
meet in person.
Talk
It's gonna be
about crying. Oh
it's gonna
my
be like
god.
one of those like Hollywood movie moments where it's like we turn around and we go, "Whoa."
You talk about like having tears in my eyes. I would be like slobbering. It would be an ugly cry when I met you.
Yes, please,
It's
please.
gonna be the big ugly cry.
Yeah. I think that feeling of of great gratitude for the people that we love, that we've been separated from, that will never go away. You know how I remember in the past, like people have talked, my grandparents, of course, lived through the Great Depression. And people always say, oh yeah, so-and-so, that they do that because they lived through the Great Depression. I think people will be like, we'll all be like hugging each other and be like, no, I love you. And they'll be like, oh yeah, that's Grandma Maddie. She lived through the 2020 pandemic.
I was telling my nephews once, I go, you'll be able to tell your kids, and who knows what the world will be like by the time they're old enough, that you lived through the pandemic.
Yeah.
Because I said, years from now, this is going to be,
Yeah.
Years from now, there'll be a generation that will be like, what was it like to live through the pandemic? And I think that to share those, my nephew's like, oh yeah, that would be really cool. So
Yeah.
Okay, so Maddie, I just adore you. I am gonna pick a word from my little base here. And what I want you to do, because one of the things we do a lot on Wednesdays is we talk about affirmations.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna give you a word and let you use your amazing improv skills to share some words of wisdom about whatever this word is.
Okay.
So I have, there we go. So, your word is patience. Patience.
Patience is a gift you can give to others and that you must give to yourself.
Oh my god. I'm gonna tell that for my morning cup of joy. That's really my happy people on here saying to get ideas for my morning cup of joy.
Yay!
No, I felt the guys. Wait, I'm gonna have you say that again.
Okay.
Because, guys, I really want you to hear this in terms of you guys waiting for your auditions and stuff like that. So I'm not gonna interrupt Maddie this time.
Okay.
But I'm gonna let you say it one more time.
Let's see if I can remember how I said it. Okay, I think I said this. Oh, there's a nice little truck in the background giving us some beeps alongside it. Okay, patience is a gift you give to others and one that you must give to yourself. Something like that.
No, that's really, really big. And I think it's so true because I think we can be really hard on ourselves. And if I think that we're way nicer to other people than we are to ourselves. So that's really beautiful and amazing.
Yeah.
And so you're so Maddie. I end every class with some moving and grooving. And who do you love to hear? Is there a song you want?
Beyonce, Love on Top. Yeah,
Okay,
Beyonce, Love on Top.
Okay, yeah, let me open that. Alright, here we go. Alright. Maddie, thank you so much for joining me today. Guys, I will see you tomorrow for our character creation class. Maddie, you're amazing.
Oh, you're amazing, Diana. Thank you so much. This was a blast.
Cool.
I feel like I could just dance to this forever.
I know. Yeah. Alright guys, love you, miss you. See you tomorrow, guys. Hey guys, I'm sharing some of Maddie's words of wisdom, but I totally forgot to have her do an audio description. So she is a Caucasian woman with brown curly hair. During our video she was wearing a black shirt and had her hair up in the bun. And now I have a picture of her and she has her brown curly hair and shoulder-length blue eyes, and she's wearing a jacket and a blue shirt. A gray jacket and a blue shirt. And here is her words of wisdom. One on success. If we are defining success by things we have no control over, we will never be successful. Again, if we are defining success by things we have no control over, we will never be successful. Here's what Maddie said about patience. Patience is a gift you can give to others and one that you must give to yourself. Patience is a gift you can give to others and one that you must give to yourself. Thank you, Maddie. Thank you so much for your words of wisdom and for spending some time with us.